Oh, there we go. Give me some sound. Oh, there we go. All right, good. Okay, now we can get started. Got that city park hole out of the way. Hate that hole. Of course, my opponent uses a navigator and beats me with it. Whatever. Not stressing about it. What up, Scott? How you doing, man? It's so weird how one tour you can be absolutely nails one day, and then 4 hours later you can't even get a ball to stick on the green sometimes. Okay, looks like I'm facing my low percentage win shots and win holes here. But with this win, let's just be smart. I should take it about there. I'm gonna do 10% mid, so let's do 7.2 rings here. Basically, we're not trying to do anything too fancy. We just want to be up on the fairway. Darn it, I hate missing that side. Sand. Very lucky. Going with the quarterback, so he's trying to play for a shootout advantage. See if we can either split the gap or we need to go around it. Whoa, okay. It's a healthy wind. If we go this way, we have about that much room. It'll run right into the tree. So let's be smart and go here. With only about 3 of topspin. 13.6 should get us right to there, but the key is not hitting the trees, so you want to make sure your flight path is good. So right about there should be good. I'm not doing any curl. I'm just hoping to stay on the fairway over there. That's fine. Thank you, sir. I always have trouble with this. This is a very tough hole to play. A big piece of advice, if you have to go between those trees, try to do everything you can to avoid any sort of curl. Nothing worse than getting bit in the butt. Oh, okay. Roll. Keep rolling. Keep rolling. There you go. Watch, they're going to make that shot, though. Or it's going to make me miss this one. Hopefully not with this wind. Let's try to see what we can do to make our life easy. Kind of counter that wind. Whoa. See that? Make sure it's not. It's kind of all over the place, isn't it? Let's just stick with that. Yeah, 100% headwind. Tailwind, you can get over to that second side, especially if you have like over, using a power 3 ball. As long as you have over an 11.8 wind, I think you can hit that back part of that right fairway. I've completely given up on going to the left side, regardless of the wind. It's just, you can pull off a shot. I've seen plenty of people beat me doing it, but watch, I told you this guy's going to make it. Even though this should finish short right if I was doing it. Yep, made it. Hey. I have noticed a few of them have. I haven't quite pinpointed which ones. I think the pairs hole 5, the green is definitely filled a lot more towards the hole. It's nice to jump from 100 to a 15. The thing that sucks about once you max out 12 and kind of get to 6270, it's hard to get an opponent on the lower tours. But it took me forever to close tour 12. That's why I'm really trying to just enjoy keeping it maxed and get some clan points and play on the tour I'm very comfortable with. I say that, but wait till tomorrow and I probably won't be comfortable with it. So yeah, I guess I can recite all the stuff I said in the first part of the other stream that didn't have any audio. I went ahead and purchased my Avengers Endgame ticket for tomorrow morning, like at 11. I'm going to see that solo because Nicole's not caught up on all the movies yet, but I can't wait. Caught up on Game of Thrones, so can't spoil anything for me, but out of respect, if anyone hasn't caught up, try not to spoil anything in the chat. Not that we have to talk about that. Phil B with an X. Oh, I've played this guy before. He's a. I think I'm playing a replay. Layup or go for it? Layup. Play this one with a 10% elevation. APOC 6 and 7, you can go with max topspin. You just have to be a little more careful with your overpower. APOC 5, you can crank it all the way up and almost do, with this one, probably 40-50% overpower. Be okay. Hoping to get to about 360. That's 363. Ah, darn. Close. Guarantee he went full top. Still keeping our cat in the bag. So go ahead and do full top. Crank it 2 spin, counter to the right. Back this off a little bit, so go ahead and just go back to plus 0 yards right there. Go straight where you want to go. 10.5. 0.2 rings. Slight counter curl, about 10% overpower. Figure out how to hit a ball perfect. That is terrible. Worked out okay, but don't risk it. Same distance probably. Okay, playing up to the right side. His should bounce, even if he max overpowers, that's getting close, so he's going to try to play the bump and curl it. Of course he nails it. Just get used to everyone hitting their shots. No, that's not hard for maxing out, man. I'm just saying it's a waiting game for a match. One with 0 of elevation. With this wind pushing to the left a little bit, you don't need as much side spin. But if we're landing at, what did I say? Power is going to land us right about here. So let's just back it over this way. Crank her up. I don't need really any curl. Rough. Ooh, got lucky. How do I time the overpower shots? A little bit isn't, I don't really do any method as far as counting. I kind of get a feel for, see it swipe a couple times, get an idea for about how long is the middle. I don't really pay attention to a certain spot, so it's kind of more of a timing and release. Okay. Yes, we have trains in Texas that are right next to where we live. It's a tough shot. I've started, whatever I do on overpower, unless I'm running short for time, one thing I always try to do is make sure I'm always letting go on the same sweep, whether it's left to right or right to left, just like most other shots. You count, that's just fine, whatever. It's kind of one of those, whatever floats your boat, but to reference it, if you've ever seen the cult classic, ooh, what could we do here? What distance are we at? That looks like about 90% uphill. .8. Hit it a little short. That's going to be too far. That's not going to work. A little too much steam on that one. Get to the fringe. Get to the fringe. Jeez. I've made that eagle shot several times. It's much safer going with the land right at that little cutout, kind of almost where I basically fell back to. And then kind of roll it in. Usually if you have no, oh shoot, if you have no wind in your face or anything, it's pretty close to like, I think like almost no topspin or anything, but it can vary depending on what your guide says. So there's that. We are at straight Mendes, so it's only going to be about 3 rings at 9.6. So let's just leave it on this outer left, still inside the pin. That should still be fine. Oh, Scott, I feel your pain there, buddy. I do feel your pain on all the chats, but we've kind of cut those down here recently. Oh yeah, as I was saying, if you ever watched that documentary, The Rock, when Trey is leading them through and is about to pass under the flame, they're like, "How'd you get through there?" And you see him crouch down and time it with his hand, and then he just starts barrel rolling. That's kind of what I do with overpower. We're going to try the roll-up approach here. We're going to play this 10%. We're going to use max number, but we're not going to use the full. That's going to be a good shot. That's going to finish like right next to the hole. Hard to beat. Very tough to beat that. Yeah. Ooh, I got a much straighter wind than he did. Wow. Okay, tailwind for me, I guess. You guys see that too? Pretty sure it just happened. Let's go ahead and just do one bar of topspin. You see the second bounce right here where it's right by the sand? That's kind of where you want to have it. 9.6. We're going to go 6.36 rings. We're not going to go the full 6.3. Since we're not technically at max distance. And we're just going to do just about half ball curl. And don't do that. That's going to go sand. No way. 27 27 chats. Oh my god. I didn't expect to win that one. So yeah, for that one I've stopped paying attention so much to the initial landing spot. I'll kind of set my spin and then judge it based on the second bounce. It's kind of the best way I've had success with that. Tailwinds, 1 topspin works. Side winds, 2 usually works. If you have a side wind with a headwind, do like 2.2. If you have a side wind with a tailwind, go ahead and do like 1.5. Headwinds, you can still play that approach as long as you have enough room to still get a max cat or max wood adjustment without having to go into your driver. If you're having to do a headwind though, I'd still recommend, unless it's like an 8 or below headwind, I'd recommend using your min driver and bouncing on the left hand side, deflecting to the right to the hole. Let's make sure we got this going here. Okay. Always the hardest matchup is the last one to close a tour. Told you. Maybe we'll get a wind to go for something here. Sorry you gotta hear me slurp coffee, but I don't want to burn my mouth. Okay, so look at this wind. This reminds me a heck of a lot of City Park Hole 6, that if you have a similar type of wind, what can I do here? Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a shot. Just to have fun. Because he's gonna stick this in the fairway, guaranteed. That's a waste of Zerk. It's not worth it since he's right there. Ah, screw it. Why not? See where I'm going to aim this here. 14, I want it to be right about there. We're going to go 22 rings to the left. 5, 10. Not nearly enough, but we still get to the green, so it's okay. I could have gone a little bit more landing on that side. Oh man, this is going to be a funky shot. Because yes, I'm in the sand. It's a 14.8 crosswind, so for me it's probably going to be a 16.0, maybe 16 flat wind. 16.2 with a cross. Basically meaning we're still shooting uphill, but we have to add, okay, it's going to be a tricky shot. Yeah, I think I've dropped down over the month. Oh, stop. Yeah. So now we should better get on the green. play might be to, so we're at max there. Okay, so I was close, 16.2. Okay, so it's pretty highly elevated, so it's going to hit it pretty hard. Let's aim this way. Let's go up, straight at the hole, and go over all the way to the max. Make sure we give enough room in case it cuts it down. Five, 10, 16. Because it gets way up in the air over there. I think we played that okay. Knock knock, who's there? PD. What do you got for me, PD? Oh, we're going to help your opponent as much as we can. We're not going to make him have any crosswind adjustments. We're just going to say, hey, line it up and hit her perfect. Here it is, right there. Yep, every time. Got to win this in a shootout. Of course, this is going to be interesting. Well, now it's max up there, so let's play this one mid distance. We're still going to go one, maybe 1.5 topspin. 11.7 point. Come on, line it up. 2.17. I'm doing this for curl compensation here. Cooked it. Wow. No bueno, Ryan. No bueno. Yeah, it was a 13 win. I guess I should have just done. Who knows? I'll adjust it next time. You could always mess up. It's always a possibility. See how he's taking power off? He's just trying to keep it short. He does not care about making this one. Yeah! Snack on that for lunch, essay. I'm Hispanic, I can say that. It doesn't happen often. Hey, let's see where we're at globally. Nope. Back. Skip. Dang it, I'm going to be off of it. No longer number one. Yay, hey, look at that. Attaboy, Bo. Got all those brotherhoods over. Heck yeah. Alright, more playing. Well, let's not waste our time with not getting a chest here. Chris, I moved clans. I'm not part of the Brotherhood. I'm in the Blood Brothers right now. Enjoying the heck out of it. It's a good group of guys. Extremely talented too. The Mafia Brothers are kicking butt right now at the top, so we're cheering them on. Huh. Definitely a guerrero. Yes, exactly. All right, stop teasing me. Let's get an opponent here. See what wind we get. Ooh, you know what this is calling for, right, Gator? Jeez, train, shut the heck up. No one's out right now. You guys can blow your whistles out here, but you hit people downtown. See, I think he's doing the smart play. But that's not how we get to where we're going. He's just trying to make me make a mistake. It's an excellent shot. Not worth going for it because you're not going to finish out much better than that, so let's play it safe. $11.6 should do here. See this top right of the little bunker here? Kind of half the red ring in the bunker. Go ahead, and normally I would do max left spin, but let's just do about 3. 15%. 5 grand. 9.6. Oops. Someone's in trouble. I guess it worked out okay. Yeah, main mistake I see people do there is they try to overpower that shot. It's so downhill, it'll carry. So get your landing spot, and then you saw how close to the edge it bounced right there. 8.7. The thing I've noticed about this, the ball guy will lie to you. Like right now, it looks like it's going to finish right there, and with this wind, he should, but sometimes it can lie to you and you'll fall up short with too much backspin. Like that. And he's finishing a spot you don't want to be at unless it's going to be hold up. Hold up. Roll down. Keep rolling. Keep rolling. Nah, it's fine. He's not going to have to overpower that. Very makeable putt. Okay, let's see what cards were dealt. Right up there at max. So let's play safe and play over here. So that would be where I think I would want to go, but just for safety, let's take off and do 2.5 backspin, 3, and then 2 right. To make it smart here. We're adjusting low, so move it up just a little bit. Lower ground to higher ground. Get past it. okay. It's okay. We're not the ones that have to worry about our putt. This needle shouldn't shake too much. I mean, he should be fine. Yeah, he doesn't have to overpower very much. That looked like he released that great left. Whatever. Make sure I'm looking. It was perfect. Okay. Here's a fun putt. I would have sent it if he got in trouble, but he, jeez. Mix it up for me a little bit, would you? Well, we're getting some repetition on this one. See this little shadow right here, right there? Go a little bit left of it and a little bit short of it. Max right. You only need to do about maybe just under a full bar up top. Oh no, we gotta go a bar. Move it up just a little bit. Right there. No count, no curl. Stop it. One day I'll figure out how to hit perfect, I promise. And there she goes. Yeah, don't do that. Neither am I. If you guys noticed, I mean, especially in putting, um, it'll almost kind of glitch right in the center sometimes. And whenever you do let it go, it'll like light up, almost like an arcade game. Trying to backspin this in there. That should work just fine. He's just trying to be short also. Yeah, keep rolling, keep rolling. There we go. Stay. I hope I beat it. Big money, no whammies. Trash. Can't really help people if I'm only getting the same shootout every time. Personally, I have terrible, terrible memories with the Oasis holes, but because it is a tournament and the wins are going to be consistent, once we know what we're dealing with, we should be able to work things around to make at least a decent bid for the weekend. I'd say neutral, erring towards the side of not a fan. Oh, great, we get this fun wind. Please catch the rough. Nope. Well, we're not going to do anything much better than that, so let's just copy his play. How about that? Mine held up. Stay. I hate this angle. Seems like from this angle, if you try to land short of the bunker, it's a real pain in the butt to get it over with with confidence, I should say. So he's right at mid distance. You should go max right, 1.5 backspin. No, use your spin. That's gonna work just fine. That might be short, if anything. This might stop right in front of the hole. What's going on with this guy? He moved up. Okay, that adjusted for it. He's gonna make this if he hits it perfect. That's in. Shocking. I agree. The curl really throws me off now. I think it's actually behaves relatively similar. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go 3 backspin, max right. That's a stupid spot to land. So line it up here and then go up a square, left 2 squares. More than that. Six. I had to let it go right there. I'm sorry. My bad. That'll work. Yay. Thank you, sir. I would like to say that that was on purpose, but I got lucky with the miss. The biggest thing I see people do with a thorn is they put the max backspin with a headwind, and they line it up basically to go straight in the hole from landing spot. It's like, just because you're landing there doesn't mean that's where the ball guide's going to be. So first I pick my landing, going straight in the hole, adjust for the wind effect, and then adjust my rings, if that makes any sense. Like if it's a headwind, I know the ball is going to compress, so I go ahead and adjust for that compression by moving it past the hole. And I use squares as kind of a grid. I usually do for thorn, I think in my head I do like 6 miles per hour equals like 1 square. So if you have 12, move it 2 squares past. And then for side winds, I usually do the same thing. So like right there, you saw I went 2 squares left. I could have gone. Yeah, that's about right. Jeez, playing Pete again. Gotta love this guy's avatar though. With this wind, take your licks and go to the left. It's not, yes, you can make it over on the right, especially with only an 8.5 wind by going max over power, full top, max right, put a slight bit of right curl on it. But like I said, it's not worth it since you can easily, I shouldn't say easily, it's very possible to sink it bouncing off that island right by the tree there in front of the green. depending on the wind, you have to account for that. Trick here is don't try to get too gutsy going over it. Should bounce. Hit the rough. Okay. See, he's gonna be in. You gotta go for it a little more than that. You get 0.3. So we're planning on landing down here about right. So like I said, anytime you have this headwind, just go back to plus like 0. See how we're going to do with bunker even if we did full topspin, so go ahead and back off to like 5. But look at your second bounce. That's what you're paying attention to. So right about there. Because the wind's going this way, you should only need like a little bit of curl inside the circle. And this should be okay. The only thing that might screw with us here is if we get a right to left wind, because it's going to mean we're going to have to adjust to the tree and either curl around it. Okay, this is a helpful wind for us. I still play this over water, plus 5%. This guy should not need any, yeah, about to say don't use any topspin. If anything, he might need a little bit of backspin. You want to hit that third row up onto the green. So 1 square, 2 square, 3 squares. Right about there, and it should catch you a nice roll. If you land too far past it, it's easy to topspin out. Alright, let's see what we can do here. So there's B52. Max Thorn. Land it right where it hits the tree, just left of it. Do about 1 and a touch topspin. See how we're leaving it left of the hole? Springs. I cannot hit it perfect to save my life. It's going to finish right. Yep, that would have been in if I would have hit a perfect shot. Dems the brakes. What a beautiful sound. Central air. Yeah, people forget about that one whenever they're like, what's your favorite invention ever? There's a lot of cool ones out there, don't get me wrong, but for everyday life, it's climate control. That is the best invention ever, and I guess it's more of a series of inventions, but that's just being semantical. Is that even a word, semantical? Arguing semantics. Okay, 7.5. Five rings. See, we're going uphill a little bit, so 5.6, back off just a hair, down towards the tee. This might catch a runner, so I apologize. If I can hit it, perfect! Stop it! Yeah, it caught a runner. Who knows? $39,000, 4,000 range. Is there one specific tour that you're kind of sticking on? is it a matter of your clubs not being quite mature enough? Because that can be a very big reason why. Because I think before I even had APOC 5, I couldn't break the barrier. I was just out clubbed. There's people that can make it work. I wasn't good enough yet. Still not good enough, but good enough to at least cause some trouble. That's a lot of rings for a minimum adjustment. What is this dude doing? He better hit that rough on the right. There's no way that ball should hit a fairway. There's no way that ball should have touched the fairway. In my humble opinion. Tell me what you guys think. Can't stream super late tonight just because I know everyone's got the tournament that they're worrying about. Also, it's a work night for most people. I work Tuesday, so. Yeah, I don't know why they messed with the curl animation. That was actually the one thing that I was happy with, keeping it the way it was. It seemed once you get used to it, I don't know why they had to change it. It behaves similar, except for on max curl shots, sometimes it can really cut it short. Thor's Hammer 6 and APOC 5. Thor's Hammer 6 is a great club. Which tour are you playing on mostly, Chris? Had a really good win streak starting tower 10, now I'm just stuck. That might be because the tour you're on, buddy. I was playing on tour 10, and I was on there for probably 7 to 10 weeks. It is, in my opinion, just because of the nature of clans and everyone wanting to grind on it without risking 30 million or 10 million per match, especially if you're fighting for bankroll. There's so many people that just hover on Tour 10, and if you can even get it to a shootout, sometimes you have to win outright to even have a chance to put a streak together. They just have the shootouts dialed in to where it's, if you're not putting it within a yard, and even then you might be crossing your fingers that they might not hole it right behind you. I think those tours should be the ones that they completely block out all the spin reads, because you can just camp on there and dial your stuff in like no one's business. Jeez. If I get a good wind here, I want to see if I can show you guys the shots. I saw it on Neo's stream for the tournament, and it actually works pretty well for the similar wind. Yep, this is it, but not nearly enough wind. But we can still play it. Here, let's do this. You're only going to need to go like APOC 5 top spin. So like, let's do 5. Normally, with like a 10 wind, you'd aim it like right at this light pole, but because we're at 7, let's go ahead and just do about 3 rings to the left. Crank her up. Get lucky and bounce up. Bounce up, bounce up, bounce up. Not enough wind push, but it's okay. It's still an okay makeable angle for a rough iron, but yeah, like I said, if you get a Kingmaker or a Titan with a 10 to 12 wind pointing that direction, that light pole's a good reference point. Line her up. Like I said, don't do too much topspin. Worst case scenario is you just roll into the far side rough and you're okay. But if you want to stick on that fairway, it's kind of a fun shot to have dialed in because everyone goes to the right. It's such a, in my opinion, it's a good consistent shot. But yeah, you can even Tour 9, man. Tour 9 and Tour 10 are just where people camp out because you can still get a substantial amount of clan points. So just for club distance, I like to go 2D with it and go right above it. So right there is the hole. That's 80%. We're going to land right at about 70. Right spin all the way to the hole. See where backspin there? Add about half a backspin for the wind push. 13.1 is going to be right here. rating 6.8. Let's call her 7 and be good. How about that? Short. Yeah, I knew I shorted that. Darn it. But Tour 11 can be pretty manageable because it's easy for me to say that just because I've played on it for months. But if I had to choose play Tour 11 or play Tour 10 or Tour 12, I would pick 11 and 12 all day over reopening Tour 10. If I don't have to, I will never touch that tournament again. Even if they're like, oh, the tournament holds around Tour 10. Cool. Have fun. Go practice. Enjoy your luck, guys. I will stay right where I'm at. I mean, you'll see there's people that pride themselves on saying, oh, I could just play Tour 10 and I'll tell everyone how to hit everything. It's nice to have things that dialed in, but I guess I'm being a little I guess I'm being a little hypocritical doing the same thing on 11, but it took me forever to max Tour 12, so it's a little different story. That is one where Tour 12, the key, I shouldn't keep saying key. The thing that sucks about 12 is there is zero room for error. Not in the way that Tour 10 is. It's you both did a perfect drive, second shot, you hit a great shot, and you finish in good position for an eagle, and then your opponent hits an albie. Legit. It's not like, oh, you just got lucky. That was completely on purpose. You saw it happening, they hit it perfect, and all the right bounces. It's just not a lot of fun playing Tour 12, but then you'll have a stretch of wins in a row, and I just got lucky. I'm going to try Jonathan. Do I have the... I don't know if I have the right adjustment for this, but I want to show you guys, because I think I have the B52 out. Kind of want to show you what I do for headwinds here to really make your life easy. Because if you try to go land up on the green at a min-distance wood club, it can turn out exceptional for you. But because you're landing on an undulated surface and your second bounce is either on a slope or on a flat spot, it's just so unpredictable. Unless you have it completely dialed in with each wind, you're going to be crossing your fingers. But this guy's got a good bounce here. That's going in. Tough to beat. Extremely tough to beat that. So what I like to do, back this thing up to right about here. Watch the ball guide. See how the further back you get, the more it goes here. That hill rolls down to the right. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go a little bit, count a little bit right of the hole, about 1 square, and probably only about half a bar of topspin. We're going to go mid, 7.6. 9 rings. No counter curl. Let's see what this does. Yikes. Terrible. That was not even close to a good shot. I was bound for a loss. See, so if that bounced up there, that could have been a... That was just a poor adjustment on my part. How did I lose and still move up? 12, 13. Let's see how we do here. I'm going to try to remax and we'll see. Damn. You guys all caught up on Game of Thrones? / seen Avengers yet? If you have, don't spoil that S. Just watch it. I'm not sure you guys are as nuts as I am about it, but ever since I've been watching Game of Thrones, which is probably after season 2, actually I started watching right after season 3, I just dive into the YouTube wormhole of, shoot, even people discussing stuff that are panels of people that are all just waxing hypothetical about what could and what could not happen. It was, wasn't it? It's crazy. That better be getting some awards this episode tonight. A lot of people are joking about that. They don't know if it's because it was intentional or not, but the way the lighting was in this most recent episode was very hard to see certain things. I don't know if it was because HBO servers were unloaded and the bandwidth that people have and the bits that HBO was able to put out weren't enough to hold up to it, but I was having to wipe my eyes a few times like, oh man, I can't. Is this cloudy to anybody else with me? This is probably my least favorite. Besides Hole 9 on City Park, this is probably my least favorite one. Careful with max topspin here. As far as overpower, you can take off probably about, so you remember, line up +0. Go ahead and put your red ring touching that side. Screw it. Yeah, we're max top, 10.4. 0.2. I should know that adjustment in my head. Move it up to max. Slight counter curl. That's annoying. Don't. Stay out of it. Okay, good. Also another good reason. Yes, that's a good point, Chris. I didn't even think about that. Man, I want to talk so much about it. I feel like I'm in that episode of Family Guy where Chris walks in and it's the H. John Benjamin doing... Is it H. John Benjamin? Yeah, I think he's doing the movie video store guy's voice, and he's like, oh my god, have you seen that? We gotta talk about it. And Chris is like, yeah, I wish you would have just been like fully naked like all the time. I think he was talking about Elizabeth Shue. How she was really good in Adventures in Babysitting and Cocktail, but 8. So with this, get your aim spot up there, take off your max topspin, go ahead and do 5 and 2. You can do more if you like, have fun. Target 4.8 goes right about there, so go a little bit left to where you're going to get to the rough. No curl, hit her straight. Stay out of the rough. Yes, you could have easily topspinned all the way up there, but what is the advantage if it makes you go in the rough? Stick in the fairway. 12.7, we know at this distance we'll be at a max, kind of, yeah, we'll be at max thorn. 12.724, that's 6 ring adjustment, 6.5 ring adjustment. You see here how he's adjusting and he's only like a little bit to the left. He should be, ooh, put your backspin back on, buddy. Can't forget that. This should finish unless he compensates with a great left and a little bit of overpower. It should finish right of the hole. Asshole. Pardon my French. You can call. Alright, I'll call you Stewie, man. I get 15? What is this? There's max. That means we are probably landing this at about 75%. I have found landing on the green is a much more consistent bounce. See the left spin right there? That won't happen if you keep it right here. So one back, move this up a little bit. Go ahead and do one back. Get in. Guess half a back should have done it. Thanks for joining, Robert. Or Stewie. You just said it. Stop reading names. Yeah, biggest thing that Tour 11 has taught me is that don't let the ball guide trick you. Jet. That's a jet. Nope. No, it's not. Is it? Nah, that's going to Meacham. 500 million since opening Tour 11. Yeah, it's real easy to lose Tour 11. Oh, here we go. Same shootout. In case anyone's wondering, yes, I'm playing on an iPhone XR or XR, whatever you want to call it. To switch over to my Caddy app, I am swiping up like a home button and swiping to the left. Left, I swipe right, that moves the screen left. I never know which direction is. Just wherever my thumb is moving is where I go. So I swipe right, and it pulls it up. As soon as you input something, it should swipe up and swipe right. That's a good shot. Keep rolling, though. That's finishing 1 yard away. Telling you, man, these guys do not mess up here. 13.3, huh? Let's adjust this again. Bring this back. Go ahead and bring your blue ring touching right about here. It's not really a headwind, so you don't need too much topspin, but this should roll right down to the hole right here. Love B52. Might be short. 2.2. Did I beat him? Hey! So yeah, I like that bounce a lot. It works for a lot of wins. It's very consistent. Another thing I'd recommend is if you can try to find a landing spot that's consistent as far as this ring here, that ring there, then adjust, then it's going to make your life a lot easier so that way you're not just kind of flying by the seat of your pants. With a tailwind, I play that a little bit differently, using more backspin, but that's a good approach for most any other wind. It has. And after hearing the people in the know talk to PD about it, PD is not trying to get rid of apps from what they're saying. What they're really trying to do is get rid of the unfair advantage that some apps have over the other. In this case, Overlay was available on Golf Clash Notebook, but not available on Caddy app. And as you know, PD doesn't have their own app. So what they didn't want was it to get to the point where, okay, well now we can save all these holes under a guide. We can adjust the arrow on our wind to point exactly in this way. We can input the exact amount of wind. So if we have all of those 3 points, 3 points make a line. So essentially all a person has to do is say hit it here. And that's what they don't want to have happen. But as I'm sure people have outlined in other videos, like Zach and other people that have spoke on the matter, they're saying it's going to completely kill their app. They should still be able to I'm pretty sure you have a multitasking app, and I know Caddy is not going to have to right now, if you're on the iPad, get rid of the in-screen overlay function for the numbers right now, because I think when they explained it, he said it's pretty much the same type of function that the Android split screen app has, so to take it away from Caddy and still leave that function for Notebook would be an also unfair advantage. So the whole point is they're ironing it out as we speak, but they just had to put a general terms of service update. If this makes it over, I'll be super ticked. That's stupid. Of course he hits that one little spot. Wow. Alright, well, if he didn't have to overpower, I'm going to. And they could have been targeted. I'm not one to sit here and tell someone that potentially someone's not after them for their intellectual property or to stop their intellectual property from happening. They're still going after more of the developers than they are the actual players, so I wonder if that's the tone that they were meaning. 11 rings. 5, 10, 11. That's not going to be good. Oops. What is going on? Means I adjusted too many rings. Happy mistake. Let me see what she said here. From reading through Ian and Zach's post today, it seems like they were really targeted. Clash Caddy definitely said he wasn't going to remove any feature. Yes, he did. Remove any feature at this time. He's not saying he's not going to ever, especially if he just wants a clear field for whatever app chooses to, I shouldn't say that right. He wants a clear, even field for all apps to operate under. So if we all agree here's what's acceptable, then that should be something that all apps adhere to. And as long as there is a lack of balance between all of them, it seems like PD's just kind of said, all right, enough, all y'all can't do it until we figure something out. But they're working on it. And that's could be a blanket excuse from what I'm told as being just a lemming. But it's not like you can just switch like this. I mean, it took practice for me to get good at switching over back and forth, so I know the way I do it. I don't think they can really ever get rid of that, as far as I know. See, here's min distance right here. If you look, this red ring kind of goes right here. The best bet for this is to try to roll this off this hill, but you don't want to start with too much right spin. So go ahead and take this off. Go your backspin. See right on the fringe, right about there is where I'm aiming. You want to have some speed going into that. So we know min distance 8.6. Four rings. A little bit left. See the wind I had to adjust there? Don't do any curl since the wind's doing your curl for you. And let's see what this does. Yeah, a little too high up on that hill. Ideally, you want to go more from that short right side. I mean, short left side right there, because it does kind of funnel straight to the hole there, but an albatross is more of a luck game on this one. So it really didn't affect me playing iPad Pro with his own grid lines made with the transparency. Yeah, exactly. There are ways that you can make your own grids and stuff. They're extremely beneficial, especially when adjusting over 10 rings, like on your B52, on your high wind driver shots, especially when you get to APOC 7, where stuff pretty much only becomes a 1-to-1. If you can move it all in one direction in one fell swoop, there's less room for it. There's a lot more consistent performance. I hate this shootout. I wish I could tell you guys I have a foolproof way to play this, but with this one we're going to be landing short here on the cat with about 3.5 backspin. With this wind, we're going to go ahead and crank the left spin. Yeah, we're going to put the blue ring at 4 o'clock touching maybe the red ring. I think it might be the red ring, maybe blue. We'll see in a second. But we're going to play this 10% since it's more of a side wind. With tailwind and headwind, I play at 15. It's just really, and he's going to end up perfect, watch. Jeez, it's a crime. All right, let's pay attention to this here. 11.1, back up to your cat. Go to red ring right here at 4 o'clock, touching this rough. So you line it up with a hole. I'm already at 2, so go 1.5 more backspin and do about 2 squares to the left, so that's max left. Let's go to max distance. 567.5. And we're going to do a little bit of bounce counter curl this way. That's not going to work. That's going to hit the rough on the left. Damn, I knew it. Well, there's a lesson. You can kind of see what goes on there. You know, if I would have taken off that, see, that's such a pain in the butt, because if you take off that little bit of backspin I added, then you'll catch a runner and roll on the back of the green there. So I still don't have that one locked down very well. I wouldn't recommend bringing a driver to that one. That's an APOC 5, because it doesn't seem, unless you're really good at landing, like lining up min APOC and landing actually shorter than that, because you can actually kind of land on that hill with 4 or 5 backs and an APOC on headwind and be fine, but it's real easy to then catch the front of that green and roll off. So that's the biggest thing that was my bugaboo, was when I only had APOC 5 and I always got that darn shootout. And people were busting out Thor's Hammer 6. Thor's Hammer is a much better guide for that hole. Has a much better ball guide in general, but it just gives you a much more accurate ball guide to go with than the APOC does. But after a while, if you only use the APOC, you get used to the bounces. Come on, let's do it. Pete, get me to the 19th hole. This one's tough. I like this hole a lot. It's the appropriate toughness. The green is ridiculous. Alright, bring this one back to min distance right here. Yes, you can line up here, overpower, do a full top spin to the right, get lucky, and try to hit this without hitting right there into the bunker. What I like to do, bring it to min distance, full top spin, back off a ring and a half. If you're going to land all the way down here, do 15, but right here's 10%, 6.3. 6.3, move it left a little bit. Slight curl to the right. No overpower. Goal here is try to be right in between the bunkers. I will take that. I've gone full topspin there before, and yes, I've fallen short of the bunkers, but I've also rolled into it. So just a lot of Tour 11 is knowing when to take your medicine and play for the second shot. You have to be confident that you can at least make or get close on a lot of second shots. But if you try to go for everything off the tee, and that day you're hitting, that day you're not, then you're going to put yourself in situations where you don't even have a chance to make it on the second shot. And you're hoping for your opponent to screw up, which it can happen, but it's not a good thing to always bet on. I don't know why I said that weird. It's not always a good thing to bet on. So now he's going to read our shot. So let's think about our shot before we do this. Here's my technique. 14.7. We're going to be probably at min cat. Let's just get to that side. Max B 52. Sorry. Leave it 2 squares above. bring it over this way. 17 rings. 5, that was 4, 10, 17, move it up since you're going downhill. Left spin, left counter curl. Don't miss that side, that's going to hit the sand. Close. You see how much adjustment you have to do for the wind on the second bounces, though, especially when you get up to above 10 miles per hour. You're going to definitely have some second and third bounce push or pull left or right, extension, compression, however you want to call it. There's going to be some ball guide adjustments, so get a number that works in your head. If you want to say, like right now, 12.5, you see where he's aiming. With 12.5, I was doing 6. I would aim this at least maybe 2.5 rings left before I did anything. And you see how when you drop down, your trajectory changes, so you have to move your target further up if you want to land in that same spot, or else it's real easy to short it. Yeah, see, he should have finished right the whole time. And how many squares? Let's see. 1, 2, 3. 3 squares. That's kind of what I use to learn how many squares to adjust. If you want, line it straight up, hit it perfect, see how far off you were, and that's about how many squares you need to adjust. Thanks, Chris. Appreciate it, man. I'll probably finish up here soon. If I can remax the next 2, then I'll call it a night. I just wanted to get some streaming jitters out of the way because they do exist. It's hard to hit perfect. It's hard. It's hard. There are some people that are really good at it. I'm still trying to get better at it. I feel like I've seen this hole before. Get yourself ready. We're going to do 10%. Now think in your head what you're having. Okay, it's a little bit of tailwind and a little bit of crosswind. We know with a tailwind we go 1 topspin, with a side wind we go 2 topspin. So with a combination of both, err on the side of the one that's going to push the ball more and it's going to slide the ball left or right. So what I mean is the tailwind and headwinds are going to have more influence on the ball than the side winds, depending on the direction. So for this, we're going to go 1.25 topspin. That's a great shot. Tough to beat. Cool, man. Thanks. Yeah, I'll try to make sure that I give you guys at least a heads up on when I'll be streaming. I'll be qualifying probably some practice rounds here. Remember, second bounce, max right, 1.25. That's 1.5. 1.25. Get the second bounce. See just to the right of the sand. 9.9. 6.5. Since it's not a full win, let's just go 6 rings. A little bit of counter curl. Get lucky. Get lucky. Hooked it. So what did that teach us there? Either I landed too high or I put too much topspin. Either way, it's a loss. And good luck to you too, Chris. I appreciate it. Other thing I'll recommend, don't pull a Ryan and don't sit there and start, it's okay to start conspiracy theorying stuff. When it's like, oh, watch, I'm going to hit this and my opponent's going to have a tailwind because I hit it in the rough. Yeah, that all happens. We get it. It does. I get just as mad as you do, especially when I'm in a losing streak, but how many times have, personally, I got myself, oh, I'm just going to win one more. I just want to win one, then I'll stop. And you end up losing 10 in a row, whatever. So set yourself a limit, whatever you're comfortable with, whether that's bankroll, whether that's what you're trying to ration, but don't let the game beat your mind. Because it is a game. There are things in place that we probably don't know about, so you got to find a way to work around it. What's up, Jake? Thanks for watching, man. Yeah, if you guys are watching, you're part of the Brotherhood, try to do me a solid and subscribe, please. That would be a huge favor. Ooh, this can be a fun hole. Let's see what we can do here. What we got? Headwind? 12.4 with a side. This is where you can take your medicine. I'm going to switch this to a hammerhead. Back this off to min distance. Kind of that blue ring touch on the top. Max right. You can probably go about 5.5 top. 12.4. A little too much. We are going to do a little bit of curl. Let's do about 3/4 ball. This should roll up to about 284. That's a good roll. 280. 290. Yeah, just be careful with your topspin on that. And you got to think here too, if you want to, and you have a power 3 ball with at least an APOC 5, and the wind to get over to the second is you have to have at least a 13.8 wind. And what you want to do is if you land past it, you only want to cap your topspin right about 5, because what you're trying to do is you're trying to land across the water, bounce, kind of hit that little island with the trees, and essentially hit a rough bump. But I know for sure, you do not want to go full topspin if you're going to try to go all the way across with max overpower. There's a way where if you get a good tailwind, you can do a full hook. But let's see what we do here. It's 9 wind. There's max. Here's min. So we're at about 40% Goliath. Bring this back to where your yellow ring's kind of touching the side. Let's do half the red, just to make our lives easier. Bring your guy to the hole. With this, since we have a tailwind, let's take away the top spin. We're going to take away the side spin. 1.5 square, 2 squares, 9.0 here. Remaining 3. No curl. Just a little bit too much respect to that offset, but it's a pretty good idea of kind of how I judge those shots. Come on, you stupid fly. Now watch, see if he copies it. And it's not only for teaching purposes, but it's also for repetition purposes. I pick the ring so that way you know, okay, this wind, I know I'm going to get this much. I have this much wiggle room. If you have a left to right wind, you don't want to put your guide right up against the rough fairway line, because worst case scenario, either the wind takes it too much or you mishit it and you catch the bad side. So always give yourself some room for error. That's close. That might roll back too. Give me a different shootout game. Come on. I do have this crackpot theory that the game does keep a record of whatever tour you're playing on. Not just that part, but what your lowest percentage of wins are for shootouts on that hole. On that tour. And if you're in a struggle, in a rut, you'll see your least successful shootouts more frequently. Conversely, same if you're catching a winning streak, you'll be like, man, I've got this on lockdown. Keep getting the same shot. Come on, give me a maple. Ask and thee shall, right? Ooh, worst kind of wind. Normally we play this 30, but let's play this 25%. He's putting some, I was about to say, he better put some overpower. Stay short, stay short. Okay, so this one is a big time, especially when you're going from higher elevation spots, like this one's a higher one. Let's do 30 to be safe. Okay, hammerhead, we know we're at max there. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to our driver, line up the hole, backspin, let's do 5, and then we're going to go all the way to this way, because that wind is going to take this thing the whole way there. 9.6, 5, 9.6, move it up just a little bit, about half a ring, do a little counter curl. Let's see what this ball does. See how much the wind pushed it? It's a much safer play if you're on 2. What's up, Ed? Dude, I miss you, buddy. Good to see you, man. I hope you're doing okay. Sorry the way things ended, but that's a different conversation for a different day. I'm just glad to hear. Let's see here. How many points have we got this stream? Sorry if that was loud. Let's go ahead and do that and do that. I don't know why I still have those on. So again, if you're going to land all the way down there, that initial platform with tail and headwinds, it's safe to play 30%. Side winds, I play less elevation. I don't know if it's accurate or not, but it's giving me better success. And again, you cannot trust the ball guide. That thing looked like it was going to go off the green to the right, and it was a square away from being a hole-in-one. One thing I wish PD would do is, after you get done and you're playing tour play, you know, when your match shows you, winner or loser type thing, I wish it would let you keep a record of, versus this person, you're 20 and 15 against them, or 15, and so you can kind of tell who's kicking your butt or not. And the benefit to that is it's at the end of the match, so it's not like it's going to let you back out. I also think if they want to eliminate, I guess I'll say that idea for myself. I don't really want to give that one out. It could turn against people. I hate this hole. I hate this hole. It sucks, and I think the game knows it. Ooh, I am tempted. I am severely tempted here. Question is, do I have enough room to land going uphill? I'm not a fan of this wind going to the right side. It is a super tough wind. But what is helpful about this is because it's a little bit of a tailwind, you only need about 1 topspin. Ooh, bounced good there. Nice shot. Not worth the risk if he's over there. You'll give the game away if you try to go to the left and mess it up. You have the you need a power 3 ball for the second shot. I hate having to waste dessert. Here, crank the left. You only need about enough topspin for this second bounce to clear the rough. So give yourself about that much room, 12.3. Should land there, 12.3. Now I'm going downhill. Move it up a little bit. Slight left curl. Not too much because then you'll hit the rough. And I do that. That's going to be in trouble. Or I'll finish okay. I need to stop calling my shots poorly or keep doing it because it's working out okay. I have the wrong bag, don't I? Darn it. I think I should be okay. I don't think I switched to the Cataclysm bag, did I? As you guys can see, there's this channel right here that you can hit where he's aiming. And he's going to back off and hit the tree, so he's going to curl it around it. He'll be fine. He's going to get to the fairway. What that curl's going to do, he better miss a little bit great right, or else that curl is going to carry him into the trees, and it's going to hit the trees and bounce. Just fine. Excellent shot. Senor Doofus over here left his. See how much run out you get if you do full topspin there? Stick with about 5. If you're playing this 10.8, should be about 1 to 1. So 5, 10, back it off. That's in the tree. That sucked. Ignore everything I just said. Don't play like that. It's terrible. If he makes this, I'm going to try something fun. I'm going to try the old Dunkarooski. A 12.5 wind. Good God. That's going to be a pain in the butt. This is a very, very commonly missed chip. He's going to second guess and move it closer. Nope. Yeah, no, everyone, you can go ahead and miss about almost good to the great right and still hit dead center. Stupid game. Alright, 13.0. Look at the height of the arc. See how it's right at? It means we're right at min distance. Forward range. 2.1. Just do 2. Ah! Close. He wanted it well. Yeah, don't do that if you're having trouble on 211. I'm doing it to try to work on my dunks to dial that in, so I know now if it's right at height, then go ahead and do half of min. So 1.5 rings maybe? I don't know. I'm not a doctor. Let's get an opponent here. Hey, Mike. I think I caught a replay. Alright, 3 top spin, max right spin. With this wind, we're going to do 18 rings to the left after we aim our spot. Normally with a curl shot, you want to be hitting, I think usually in general, if I'm going to do a straight hook, I do like 19 to 20 rings. Ooh, look at you. Killing it. I should be over there too. Ideally. I know I'm playing replay, so I'm not going to mess with this. Let's not do that. Let's do here. Let's go here. You want to land right past this guide. 5, 10, 15, 18. Still going to be wrong. You know what? I still might be able to make that shot. That might be possible. Generally, if it's a replay, it doesn't automatically make eagles. So if I had to guess, I would assume this shot's going to be missed. Unless Mike's slow playing me. Go for the dunk here. It's a good play. That's a lot of adjustment. Nailed it though. Get in. Yeah, I figured that would. Okay. There's usually a little alleyway you can hit here. Yeah. Crank this way. If I'm remembering right, it's about 1 ring. $1.2 rings, maybe. Burning edges. Story of Tour 11 right there. Alright, this will be the last match here. Appreciate you guys watching, and girls, if it was girls involved. Oh, of course. Alright. Shadow, if you land this way, it'll kick it right. If you land this way, it'll kick it left. Center. You want to go max back, take off a ring. Take off a square. Take off a bar. Jeez, learn how to speak, Ryan. .2 rings. Take off some power. I didn't pull back enough. Stay on the green. Stay on the green. Nope. Too much backspin. That was because I underpowered. I think that if it was normal power, I think that rolls up okay. Oh man, he's gonna stick to this, so I'm just gonna go ahead and forfeit. Let's see how he plays it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Max back, left. He's gonna land up a little higher. Yeah, he's not messing with going short. 1 yard. Told you he'd stick it. Just land a little higher. I gotta try to end on a. No, I'm not. See, I was about to do what I told you guys not to. End when you know you're stop winning, if you can. Alright, I'm gonna go try to get some sleep before I go watch Avengers in the morning. Thank you all for watching. I'm gonna go ahead and tune out. Good luck, and good luck on the tournament this morning.